Namaskar friend, welcome to e-learning course of LKMC. Today we will learn how to create CIF in retail. Bank customer are broadly categorized under two heads, that is retail customer and corporate customer. Retail customer means individual customer and corporate customer means non-individual. Now we will see the process of retail CIF creation in finacle 10. After logging in finacle, we will come to this main screen of finacle. Here in solution field, we will have to select CRM from drop down. In left hand side, we can see function field. Here we will click on retail CIF and then on new entity and finally on customer for creation of CIF. We can see CIF creation screen with different tabs. We will have to fill information in different fields. There are certain mandatory fields which we will have to fill compulsorily, failing which CIF cannot be created. We have depicted mandatory fields with red asterisk. Remember that if we will only fill mandatory fields, CIF will get created, but for a sound and effective MIS for bank, we must try to fill all the available information with us. The first tab is General tab, under which there are many sub-tabs which are Basic Info, Contact, Identification Document Details, Currency, Core Interface, Household, Group Detail and Tax Certification Detail. Now we will see how to fill Basic Info tab. Under Personal Detail, the first field is Title. We will click on Searcher and then to refine our search, we will enter the first two letters of the word which we want to enter, followed by an asterisk in Category Value field, and then we will click on Submit button. System will display the value. Select the right one. Here we are selecting Mr. Select appropriate gender from drop down in Gender field. Then write the first name of the customer in First Name field, middle name and last name of the customer to be filled in Middle and Last Name field. Short name and full name of the customer will auto-populate. We will enter father name of the customer. For filling date of birth, we will click on calendar icon and select the appropriate date as per the document provided by the customer. To fill city of birth and country of birth field, click on respective searcher and select the appropriate one. Senior citizen flag will be as per the date of birth value. By default value for non-resident indicator flag is N. If its value is being changed to Y, then we will have to select date in turn non-resident on field. Then we will select the residential status of customer. By default value for staff indicator field is N. In this field, we can also select ex-staff spouse and Y. If we select anything other than N, then we will have to enter staff PF number in staff ID field. For individual customer, constitution code will be 001. We can select the constitution code from searcher. Then we click on searcher of field customer type. From here, we will select ZOTHR for other individual. Tax deducted at source field will get filled as per the document which we will enter in tax PR field under identification document detail tab. Primary sole ID will get filled as per user maker ID. Reason will get filled as per circle ID of primary sole ID. For filling customer status, we will click on searcher and select the appropriate one. Here we are selecting others. Status as on date will be the current date. For filling profession/activity field, we will select the appropriate one through searcher. Risk category will get filled as per the entered value in profession/activity field. Date of risk categorization will be the current date. By default, value for availed trade service field is N. In finacle 7, there were certain accounts like proprietors, society, trust, etc. For them, we used to generate cust ID in retail. But in finacle 10, there is CIF to be generated in corporate. If we select Y in availed trade finance field, then a new tab named trade finance will pop up. Detailed description of trade finance field has been given in corporate CIF. Segment and sub-segment value will be class A and subclass A respectively. Then we will select the community and annual income of customer from drop down. Purge allowed by default will be N. Preferred locale will be EN_US. If customer is having salutation in his name like doctors, major, lieutenant colonel, etc., then this salutation can be filled through searcher in title in native language field. We will enter customer mother name in mother's name field. With this, all the fields of basic info tab has been filled, and now we will discuss how to fill contact tab. After basic info, next sub-tab under general detail tab is contact. When we click on contact tab, we can see two sub-tab. First one is address and the second one is phone and email. Now we will see the process flow of address sub-tab. Here in address sub-tab, we will have to select the preferred address type. While inquiring about any accounts, system will show the address as per the selection made in preferred address type. Then for adding address, we will click on add address detail button. A new window will appear. Two types of address format can be selected: free text and structured. When street number, flat number, building number, etc. is not known, then we will use free text format. And if street number, flat number, building number, etc. is known, then we will use structure format. Here we will select free text in address format field. Then in address type, select communication. Enter address label. Then enter complete address in address line 1, address line 2 and address line 3. For filling state, country and city, click on searcher and select from there. District and sub-district can be filled through drop down. Enter the postal code in postal code field and then click on save button to save the address. In detail CIF, two types of address must be filled. One is communication and the other one is permanent. For filling permanent address, select permanent in preferred address type. Then we will click on add address detail button. A new screen will appear. Here in address format field, we will select structure. In address type field, we will select permanent. Then enter house number in house number field, premises name, street number and street name in respective field. For filling state, country and city, click on searcher and select from there. District and sub-district can be filled through drop down. Enter the postal code in postal code field and then click on save button to save the address. Now we will see how to fill phone and email detail of customer. We will click on phone and email button. Here in preferred contact number type, we will select communication phone 1. Preferred mobile type for alerts as mobile number. And preferred email ID type as communication. Then to add phone number, we will click on add phone and email button. A new screen will appear. Here in phone number / email field, we will select phone number from drop down. And in field type, we will select communication phone 1. Phone number to be entered in specific format. That is firstly country code, then area code and lastly the phone number. If extension number is available, then enter in extension field. Click on save button to save the phone number. To add email, we will click on add phone and email button. A new screen will appear. Here in phone number / email ID field, we will select email from drop down. Then in field type, select communication. Enter email ID of the customer in email ID field. Finally, click on save button to save the email detail. With this, we have finished basic info and contact sub-tab of general detail. In next chapter, we will know the process flow for identification document detail. Thank you. Namaskar friends. Welcome to e-learning course of LKMC. In continuation to our detailed CIF creation, today in this chapter, we will learn how to fill identification document detail. It is mandatory to fill three types of document. First one is ADDPR for address proof. Minimum one document is required. Second one is IDPRO for ID proof. Minimum one document is required. And the third one is tax PR for tax proof. Only one is required. Other two documents are conditional. SBSML for small account customer and the other one is FATCA for FATCA enabled customer. When we will click on identification document detail tab, we can see two buttons. First one is add identification document detail and the other one is remove identification document detail. To add address document, we will click on add identification document. A new screen will appear. Here in document type field, we will select ADDPR from drop down and then document code can be selected as per the document provided by the customer. Here we are selecting voter ID as address proof. Enter remarks in remarks field and then fill unique document number in unique ID field. Click on Searcher to select the place from where the document has been issued. Click on calendar icon to select the date of issue of that document. Finally, click on Save button to save the detail. To fill ID proof document, we will click on Add Identification Document button. A new screen will appear. Here in Document Type field, we will select ID PRO from drop down, and then document code can be selected as per the document provided by the customer. Here we are selecting driving license as ID proof. Then enter remarks in remarks field, and then fill unique document number in unique ID field. Click on Searcher to select the place from where the document has been issued. Click on calendar icon to select the date of issue and expiry of that document. Finally, click on Save button to save the detail. To fill tax proof document, we will click on Add Identification Document button. A new screen will appear. In Document Type field, select Tax PR. In Document Code field, we can see three options. First one is Form 60, second is PAN, and third is ZRTDS. When customer is having agriculture income and he is not having PAN card, then we will select Form 60. If customer is having PAN card, then we will select PAN from drop down. If we are generating CIF for those customer who is having zero tax liability like Swachhta Abhiyan or midday meal account, then we will select ZRTDS. Here we are taking standard case that customer has given PAN card. Then in document code field, we will select PAN. Enter remarks in remarks field and then fill unique document number in unique ID field. Click on Searcher to select the place from where the document has been issued. Click on calendar icon to select the date of issue of that document. Finally, click on Save button to save the detail. With this, we have finished this chapter, and in next chapter, we will learn about currency and other tabs. Thank you. Namaskar friends. Welcome to e-learning course of LKMC. In continuation to our retail CIF creation, today in this chapter, we will learn how to fill currency tab, core interface, household, group detail, and tax certification detail. When we click on currency tab, we can see two buttons. One is add CCY and the another one is remove CCY. For adding any currency, we will have to click on add CCY, and to remove any already added currency, we will have to click on remove CCY. We will click on add CCY button and a new screen will appear. Here in CCY field, we will select the currency through searcher. Other field will get auto-filled as per the currency selection. Point to remember is, if a customer wants to open account in different currencies, then it will be possible only if those currencies are already been added in CIF. We can add as many currency we want. To add a new currency, we will have to click on Add CCY button and then select a new currency in the field CCY through searcher. After currency tab, next sub tab under general detail tab is core interface. When we click on core interface tab, the screen will appear. Here in offline or debit limit field, we will enter the offline or debit limit of the customer. In charge account ID field, we will type the charge account of customer. Source of income of the customer to be filled in source of income field. In free code 1 to 10, select the code from the list of values. This is used for MIS classification. In free text 1 to 15 field, type the detail in series relevant to entities. After core interface, next sub tab is household. When we click on household tab, we can see three buttons. First one is create and link household, second one is link household, and the third is delink household. After clicking on create and link household button, a new screen will appear. Here in household name field, we will enter the name. For filling global relationship manager ID, we will click on searcher and select from there. Then click on save household button, detail will be saved. Then we will click on link household button, a new screen will appear. Here in field type, we will select household, then household ID and household name to be entered in household ID and household name field respectively. Then click on submit button to save the details. Delinked household to be used when already existing household to be delinked. After household, next sub tab is group detail. After clicking on group detail tab, we can see two buttons. First one is link group and the second one is unlinked group. After clicking on link group, a new screen will appear. Here in group ID field, we will type the group ID for which record needs to be listed. In group name field, we will type the group name for which records needs to be listed. Last sub tab under general detail tab is tax certification. This tab is applicable for FATCA enabled customer. We will click on tax certification detail tab to fill the relevant details. Here in foreign account tax reporting required field, we will select yes in case of FATCA customer. We will click on searcher to select the foreign tax reporting country. Then select the foreign tax reporting status, last foreign tax reporting review date and next foreign tax reporting review date can be filled by clicking on calendar icon. Enter remarks in remarks field. Select the FATCA document in FATCA document field and enter the FATCA number in FATCA number field. With this, discussion on currency, core interface, household, group detail and tax certification detail is over. In next chapter, we will learn about demographic tab. Thank you. Namaskar friend. Welcome to e-learning course of LKMC. In continuation to detail CIF creation, today in this chapter, we will learn about demographic detail. After general detail, next tab is demographic detail. When we will click on demographic detail tab, we can see four sub tabs. First one is general detail, second is qualification, third one is employment, and lastly income and expenses detail. Now we will learn how to fill general detail sub tab. The first field under general detail is nationality, which we will fill by clicking on searcher and selecting the applicable nationality from here. Then we will select caste from drop down in caste field. Click on searcher to select the residing country. Select marital status from drop down. Apart from this field, we can see many more optional fields. If we have information for those fields, then we must enter those information in the respective fields. Next sub tab after general detail is qualification. After clicking on qualification tab, we can see two buttons. First one is add education detail and the other one is remove education detail. For adding education of customer, we will click on add education detail button. Then a new screen will appear. Here we will select qualification of the customer from drop down. In institute or university field, we will fill the name of the institute or university from where customer has acquired that qualification. Date of acquisition of that degree can be selected by clicking on calendar icon. We will enter the main subject, marks obtained percentage and class obtained in their respective field. We will fill address of institute or university in address detail field. Then we will click on save button to save the details. After qualification, next tab is employment detail. After clicking on employment detail, the screen will come. Here we will have to fill employment detail of customer. In employment type field, we will select the appropriate one from drop down as per document provided by the customer. In payment mode field, select the mode of payment. Then in nature of income field, select stable or unstable. Income frequency of customer to be selected in income frequency field. For filling occupation of customer, we will click on searcher and select the appropriate one. Select the relation in bank relation type field. Then for filling employer name, click on searcher. If the customer is not a pensioner, then we will select an in pensioner field. Employer detail address can be filled in employer address detail field. Fill complete address in address line 1, address line 2 and address line 3. For filling city, state and country, click on searcher and select the appropriate one. Postal code and phone number to be filled in postal code and phone number field. Employment history can be added if required by clicking on add employment history button, and we will add here the detail of previous employment of customer in the respective field. After employment detail, next tab is income and expenses. Here we will enter income and expenses detail of customer in respective field. In employment type field, we will select the appropriate employment type of customer. Then we will enter gross income salary of customer, allowances which are not in payslip to be entered in allowances not in payslip field. Then select gross monthly salary from drop down. Expenses detail to be entered under expenses detail head. If customer has provided more information, then we must enter that information in their respective fields. Thank you.